Now, as the recording of this video, this crime happened about 3 weeks ago, so there's not a whole lot of information. But on December 6th of 2023, 53-year-old Donnie Smith was shopping in this supermarket. Now, again, not a lot of details. This is just one of those crimes that you read about as a quick blurb in the online newspaper, and that's really about it. So he's in there shopping, and there's 3 teenagers, and I'm not sure what they're doing, if they're shoplifting, if they're goofing around, if they're being obnoxious. But the security guard gets into the fracas with these teenagers. Now, Donnie Smith also gets involved with them. I don't know if Donnie said anything to them or they said something to him, but they get into some form or another of a verbal altercation. And the security guard tells the teenagers that they gotta leave. So they're kicked out of this supermarket. And when Donnie comes out with his groceries, he comes to right about where that pharmacy drive-through is right there. And I'm assuming his car is probably parked somewhere here. If he does have a car, he's probably walking to it, maybe, perhaps. And little did he know was that whatever little indiscretion that he might have thought that he committed against them, they were lying in wait for him. So he gets about right here, and that's when 3 kids start beating the living daylights out of him. They pummel him, he falls to the ground, and they just start kicking and literally stomping on his head. Now, according to a couple eyewitnesses, as they were kicking him on the ground, they were laughing and just really having basically enjoying themselves. Just enjoying the beating that they were giving this man for whatever it is that he said to them. Now, the only reason why they stopped pummeling him was because somebody pulled out a gun and told him to get away from him. So after that man pulls out that gun, they all scurry. And this man now is right here, and he's lying in a pool of blood. 911 is called. They pick him up and they take him to the hospital where he would later die of his injuries. Now, eventually 3 teens were arrested. You had one, Jamarion Fredre Evans-Bennett, 19 years of age, Deontay Devon Hughes, 18, and 17-year-old Jaden Aggie. Now, because of Jaden being 17, as of right now, his picture has not been released because they don't know if they're going to be charging him as an adult yet. So he's sitting right now in a juvenile facility. I imagine they are going to charge him as an adult. So I don't even know why they're even pondering it. Possibly he doesn't have a criminal record. I don't know. But the beating was caught on surveillance tape, and the camera was right there. So that would have been the camera that caught the beating, which I have not seen. They have not released the video yet. So right now, these 3 individuals, they're being charged with murder, and they're all sitting in jail. They're probably not going to be taking a deal or anything along those lines for at least the next year to year and a half. So they're going to be sitting in jail for quite some time. What a way to go out, huh? You're shopping at a supermarket, minding your own business, and you got 3 knuckleheads acting stupid. And then they go around and wait for you and kill you. So hopefully those dudes will be in jail for a very, very long time. When I first started coming out to Ohio, I used to actually sleep at this Walmart right here, which is right next to the Kroger. And I no longer do, because this area is really just crap, to be honest. And I think somebody had like messed with, I got really close to my van one night while I was parked out here, and it kind of creeped me out. So I was like, yeah, maybe probably better find a safer location to sleep at. And if you read up about a lot of crime in Columbus, or you live out here, you know that High Street's a very notorious street for just having like a lot of drug activity or what have you. So we're gonna head over to another Kroger, another I want to say somewhat highly publicized police shooting occurred. I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on what happened over there. We're about 20 miles away in Westerville, Ohio, pretty much still the general Columbus, Ohio metro area. So this Kroger here on Sunbury Road, 5900 South Block, we're going to go back to August 24th of 2023. We have one 21-year-old Takia Young. She's here with a couple of her friends, and she's picking up a couple of things. Takia is pregnant, 6 months, with her third child. So she goes into the store, grabs a couple things, comes out, and when she comes out, she parked her black Lexus sedan right at that handicapped parking space right there. Now, as she was parked right there, sitting in her vehicle, just by dumb luck, there happened to be two Blendon Township police officers here on some form or another of an unrelated matter. An employee of this Kroger comes outside, sees the cops, and waves them down and says, "Hey, this girl and a couple of her friends just stole a bunch of liquor." So the cops, they come from probably this direction right here, and they come waltzing up to Takia's car. Takia's car was parked right at this handicapped parking space. So they knock on her window and they say, "Hey, get out." And she goes, "Why?" And they just knock on the door. They say, "Get out. One of the employees says that you were shoplifting. Get out of your vehicle." And she refuses. She says, "No, I'm not going to get out of the vehicle." And immediately, one of the officers pulls out his weapon because he's in front of her car, and it's looking like now that she's going to run him over. So she tells him, quote, "What are you going to do? Shoot me?" And after she says that, she steps on the gas. A shot goes off. A bullet comes out of his gun, goes right through the windshield, right into her chest. As the shooting happened, her car, now that she's incapacitated, the car comes from this parking space right there. And now it's very slowly, it's drifting right into this building right here. And right where you see where that RX walk-up sign is, that's where the car came to rest. Now we're gonna always want to look to see if there's any proof of what happened and what took place. So yeah, I could already see it. So you see where her car would have landed right here. You could see the scratch that it made. So that would have been the black paint from her car scratching up against the brick right here. So immediately the cops come here and they get out a couple of chest coverings, or chest seals as they call it. So they did administer some kind of a trauma dressing to her wound, and just by dumb luck, a trauma doctor happened to be in the parking lot, so he assisted them with providing aid to Takia. So 10 minutes later, the ambulance comes and takes her to St. Anne's Hospital, and that's where she would later die. of a single gunshot wound to the chest. The bullet struck her heart, her esophagus, her spine, and her aorta. And that's all it took. So her and the baby are dead. Now, after the shooting took place, you got a small protest occurring in front of this Kroger right here. And the family's attorney, they get an attorney right away. And they start saying that this was an unjustified shooting. She didn't do anything wrong. She was totally innocent. They said that it wasn't true that she was shoplifting. They said that the person, witness, said that they seen her put the alcohol down, like that she didn't take it out of the store. Well, that wasn't true, because the alcohol was in her car, number one, and number two, about a week later after the shooting, surveillance video of her shoplifting from this Kroger was released to the news, and in that video, as you can clearly see, she goes in there, she's already brought a couple bags, and she starts filling it up like she's on some kind of a game show where you fill your bag up with free stuff. So this doesn't appear to be her first rodeo, her first foray, or whatever that word is, into stealing. And as you can see also that she's with two other women, and they calmly exit the store like it's free. Like they don't appear to be nervous at all or whatever. So I don't know if there was a big huge party that she was throwing or whatever, but that shoplifting incident cost her and her unborn baby both of their lives for simply not listening to police instruction. Now, most of my videos are not current events, right? So this happened as the recording of this video about 6 months ago. And as far as I know now, the names of the officers have not been released. The chief of the Blendon Township Police Department, it's a very small police department. They only have about 14 officers or so, 12 full-time and 2 part-time, and I believe a sergeant, so they might have about 15 or so. He says that as I know now, that the officer that did not shoot, he's back on duty. The one that did the shooting, he's not currently working. He's probably still getting paid. And he's not releasing the names of the officers involved because he's citing Marcy's Law, where victims of crime, their names are not released. Now, I'm not really sure how these police officers are victims of crime. The only thing I can think of is because she tried to run them over. I have no idea. It sounds super ridiculous to me, but lots of things sound ridiculous to me, like disobeying orders from the law, giving you a lawful order to step out of your vehicle. Now, obviously she was on the defensive, and obviously she knew that she messed up and she did something wrong and she was going to get caught and she was about to get arrested and taken to jail. But you know what? I mean, maybe she wouldn't have got taken to jail. Maybe they would have got busy and they just didn't feel like bothering with her. They probably, maybe would have just gave her a ticket and just be like, all right, there you go, But I don't know what party they were planning on having if it was worth her life. And so the attorney for the family, which, by the way, I'm hearing from the grandmother and other family members. I'm not hearing from the mother or the father. So I don't know what kind of upbringing this girl had, but if you're already pregnant with your third child and you're 21 years of age and you're going into stores shoplifting, I'm going to guess that she probably didn't have the greatest of upbringing. And whatever stories I read about her online that were written about her, I don't hear anything about a mother or a father in the picture. So I don't know if she was raised by uncles or her grandmother or whatever, but making bad choices, several bad choices that day costed her life. Now, I have not heard anything about the friends being charged with anything, because that pretty much every state out here has basically a law of parties, where if a crime is committed and somebody gets killed, you're getting arrested. So for you two ladies out there, if you're watching this video, or if somebody is watching this video that knows them, you better let them know that I'm not sure what's going to happen with this case. I don't know if the officer is going to be charged. I'm going to guess no, because Blendon Township Police Department, they do have a policy about shooting at moving vehicles. Basically, to break it down in layman's terms, their policy is that officers are not allowed to shoot at moving vehicles unless basically either their lives or the lives of people in public are put in danger. And the cop, he was in front of the vehicle, and from what it looks like, she was going to run him over. Now, a lot of you guys, some of you guys, are going to say, well, why is he standing in front of the vehicle? And you're going to see a lot of these police shootings where the police, they're standing in front of the car because they're wanting the people to stop. Now, yeah, sure, you're putting yourself in danger if you're a police officer, if you're going to be standing in front of a moving vehicle. But I want you guys to pretend that when a cop does that, when a cop stands in front of your vehicle, imagine he's a brick wall, right? Now, would you just run into a brick wall? No, of course not. And especially if that brick wall is a cop and he's telling you to get out. And again, I always tell you guys, I've been saying this for years. Cops, they're not playing. If you disobey a lawful order, things are going to go from bad to worse for you. So it's in your best interest to take the L for the day. You messed up, you got caught shoplifting, and that's it. Maybe you get into a little bit of trouble, you get put on probation, and you kind of clean up your bad habits. You know what I mean? But the cops ain't playing with you. The cops are not playing with you, and you will get shot. They don't care if you're a woman, and they don't care if you're pregnant. They're gonna shoot you. If you threaten them and they fear for their lives, they are going to shoot you. And that is the policy of hundreds, if not thousands, of police departments and sheriff's offices and just basically law enforcement agencies all across this country. I don't know about other countries, but I know this country, that's how it works. If you want to get shot, don't listen to the police. Anytime you do not listen to the police, you're asking to get shot. That's all there is to it. I'm pretty sure the family members will get some kind of lawsuit out of this. So maybe her kids, she left behind two young boys. I think they were 6 and 3 or 6 and 2, very young. So they'll get the money. Hopefully nobody else gets the money except them, and they put it into some kind of a trust fund. It's sad that their mother had to lose her life for them to be taken care of like that. We're going to see if the charges for the police are going to be filed or not. I'm guessing no, but what do I know? I'm not an attorney. And I'm waiting for those other 2 women that were with her to get arrested. So if you're watching, you're more, I'm surprised you haven't been arrested yet. And maybe you have, I just haven't seen it. But yeah, you will be getting arrested. And you guys might be getting charged with her death. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Just want to show you 2 quick crime locations. Unseasonably warm here in Ohio right now. Kind of loving it. And believe it or not, I'm going to head east. I'm going to go do another story about 180 miles away on the border of West Virginia. I'll see you in the next video. Hey, guys, again, listen to the cops. Trust me. You guys see some of my videos. You know, me and the cops, we have a relationship where, I do respect them and all that until I feel like I mess with. But for the most part, I do respect law enforcement. Just sometimes if I'm approached just because of the job that I do, I might get a surly attitude at times or another. But one thing that I always do is I always listen to the police, and I always respect law enforcement, regardless of if I feel that they're wrong or not. At the end of the day, law giving lawful orders, I always abide to listen. Catch up with you on the next video. Have a good one. Peace out.